Last week I received an email from the guys at Antigravity, the 360 drone company. It looks like they saw my video about the Avatar 360 and they asked me if I would be down to actually review their Antigravity A1, which I'm really stoked about. So without further ado, we're going to open this, unbox this drone, and see what this thing is all about. Okay, so let's see what we got. There's more stuff than I was expecting. They even added a SD card, which this is very thoughtful. Thank you guys. Big shout out to Antigravity. They also added some propeller guards. We also got a landing pad. So cool. Of course, we have the Antigravity A1. And so this is the Explorer bundle. It looks pretty substantial. But here is what is inside of the box. All right, a bunch of things. So I'm assuming that this is the equivalent of any Fly More combo. So I should have multiple batteries. First of all, the motion controller. Let's see how this thing feels. Wow, it is giving Power Rangers Megazord for some reason, but I quite like it. It is slightly bigger than the motion controller by DJI. It feels pretty good in the end, so okay. Second, we have the goggles, which from what I saw online have a little built-in screen in one of the eye. So whoever is actually watching you fly the drone can actually see what you see, which I think is really cool. Here are the Antigravity goggles straight out of the box. So a little protection on the back. I quite like the look of those. It is really different than the DJI version. Cannot wait to try them and see how it feels inside. Then we have the battery deck. It seems like it's also protected by some kind of foam thing. Oops. It's like we have a screen on the charger. This is the battery for the goggles, and this is the hub to charge the batteries that are coming extra. I'm sure there's already a battery inside of the unit. So far, I really like the way everything looks. It feels pretty premium, very slick. I like the colors. I like the little logo here. This is really nice. And last but not least, the drone. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm already kind of impressed that the drone is fitting into what looks like is a little carrying box. I love this. This is so cute. Why is it so small? Why is it so tiny? It feels like an Easter egg or something. Oh my God, this is small. Oh my God, this is tiny. Why is it so small? Oh wow, guys, this is minuscule. That thing would fit in any backpack if you don't even take the carrying case. This thing is absolutely tiny. It feels like it might be smaller than a Mavic Mini 5 or a Skyrover X1 or something. Oh my God, this is small, guys. Let me unfold the drone. Let me grab the Avatar 360 next to it. So when it's unfolded, the wingspan is a little bit, I guess, maybe a little bit bigger. So actually this is a sub 250 gram drone, which the Avatar 360 is not at all. This is, I mean, at least 400 grams. But the thing is, you can just fold this thing. And so if you don't want to bother like getting this thing, like look at the difference. This is insane. If this thing can get even close to the quality of picture and video that I'm getting out of this drone, this might become a no-brainer because of just the size of it. So here are the 360 cameras, like one on the bottom, one on the top. The camera feels like soft mounted. Let's set this thing aside for a second and check out what else we have. In the top pocket, we have this cool little lanyard. We have the cable that is gonna connect from the battery to the goggles, and then extra props, a screwdriver. Love that. Love when they put a screwdriver in there. Yeah, extra props, like basically what you would expect to be part of a Fly More combo. What really caught my eyes earlier was those propeller guards, because I really want to use these 360 drones to shoot some real estate, which implies that at some point I will probably end up flying this thing indoors, maybe around people. And originally and out of the box, this drone does not have propeller guards, so the props are exposed, and you know, you want to be careful if you touch anything, like if you bump into anything, it's not gonna end up very well. But now that we have an option to actually mount prop guards on this drone, I'm actually really interested. So probably something like that, right? Okay. Pretty straightforward. Just basically lock it in like this and then close that little thing. It takes 2 seconds to install. I love that. Connect them together, click it in place, close the first latch, click it in place, close the second latch, and now I have, well, this is now huge. This drone is now huge. So now the Avatar 360 starts to feel way smaller than the A1. This now feels absolutely massive, but it's still really, really light. So why not? And I really like the idea of being protected in case I'm gonna fly this around people or around expensive stuff inside. The fact that they are so easy to install and remove is actually really, really good. And so if I want the drone to feel smaller, if I don't really feel like I need to be protected, I can just remove them in 2 seconds or put them on in 2 seconds, which I think is a great add-on. So let me tell you a little bit about the specs of this drone. So this is indeed a 360 drone. It weighs about 249 grams, which is way better than the Avatar 360. It has a 1/128 inches sensor, which is slightly smaller than the Avatar 360. This drone can shoot 8K at 30, 25, and 24 FPS. It can also shoot 5.2K at 60, 50, 30, 25, and 24 FPS. And if you shoot in 4K with it, you can go up to 100 FPS, which is pretty good. The photo resolution is about 55 MP, and the flight time with this little beast will get you between 24 and 39 minutes if you are using a high capacity battery. The max speed for the A1 is going to be almost 36 miles per hour of horizontal speed, which is the equivalent of 16 meters per second. We do get 30 gigabytes of internal storage in this drone, and it can support up to 1 terabyte SD cards on top of that. It does have downward and forward sensors for obstacle avoidance and auto return to home. And the video transmission on this thing is called the Omni Link, and it gives you technically up to 10 kilometers of range. And I guess this is basically all that you need to know before I go charge these batteries and take this guy outside for its first flight so we can get our first impression. So stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna go charge this and I'll meet you outside. See you. We are finally outside with the Antigravity A1. One thing that I wanted to say about this is, like, this really looks like almost like a jewel, like, you know, like you're gonna propose or something. And I think this is kind of a cool little case for it. Anyway, so here's the drone. Let's just open it up. To power the glasses, you do have to wear this around your neck. I don't know if this is my favorite way of doing it, but I mean, I think it works. I'm just gonna have to move my mic a little bit so it doesn't get in the way. But basically what you do is that you just plug the goggles and then you can power them. Drone is on, and then we should be able to turn on the goggles. Motor's on. Am I filming? Good. Okay, I'm here. We're pushing the slider upwards. And now we're recording. Okay. All right. So now we are up, and right away, what I can tell you is that I absolutely love the IU. It is really cool. You can immediately look around, and the head tracking is enabled right away, and this feels very, very natural. So I don't think that I'm in sports mode right now. And basically the drone is just going anywhere that I'm looking at without the need for me to turn my wrist around in normal mode, I think. So let me bring actually the menu. Okay, I'm in free motion mode. What is the FPV mode? Let me try this right now. Okay, so now in FPV mode, I can actually control the drone with my wrist a little bit better. And just point wherever I want to go. I really like the option of being able to look everywhere. I mean, you can do that with the 360, but it feels a little bit more jittery. The immersion with this drone is, I think, way better. Definitely feels like you are a bird flying around. Okay, and if I point somewhere else, I will have like this view that shows me where the drone is actually going. Okay, let's see. All right. Just gonna fly by the observatory. Cool shot. Okay, that was fun. Okay, now I'm in sports mode. Let's see. Oh, it's way more reactive. Okay, let's try to make a little lap. Whoa. Oh, I gotta watch out. I gotta watch out. It goes. We actually did touch something. Everything looks fine. I'm starting to see what this thing is for. Now that I'm understanding a little bit better how this thing works, let's go. FPV mode. Now we are in this FPV mode. I'm gonna be able to just use the motion controller and my wrist to add a little bit more turn to my turns. And I can look around like this and keep flying where I want to. This is really cool. And the IU is making this experience very, very fun. Now if I want to turn around, turning around, let's go get a cool shot of the Griffith Observatory. I mean, for anything that is just, you know, sightseeing, flying with not too many obstacles, this thing is really, really easy to use. Like a child could do it. Start filming. Try to go grab the observatory one last time so we can compare it with the footage of the Avatar 360. Okay. cool. I mean, it's fast enough. It'll get to where you want it to go. Take a look down there. Feels really like you're a bird though. That's the cool part about it. Okay. All right. Let's come back home. Maybe catch a little shot of the Hollywood sign. Very dry right now. It's 95 degrees outside. Okay. I mean, this is a cool drone. It's definitely a cool little quad. I get it now, I know what this is. Okay, first of all, let me start by saying that this is a very fun flying experience. The immersion that you get with those goggles, the super wide field of view, the instant head tracking that's very, very smooth, allowing you to like look around, look down, look up while you're flying, while keeping your course. Makes for a fantastic flight experience. I also think that this is very beginner friendly in the sense that like flying it only with the motion controller is pretty easy. Once you get the hang of it, which is gonna take like a few minutes, like a child could fly this with no problem. So I think this little thing is actually a really good product for somebody who would want to capture aerial videography and have the options of reframing in post-production. Somebody who wants something fairly small and easy to carry around, and that is not necessarily a full-blown FPV or, you know, like drone pilots. I believe that's going to be a very good entry product if you are part of this category of people. A great drone to pack in your backpack if you're going traveling, sightseeing, anything like that. This is going to be great. Now, this is meant to be flown, I think, mostly kind of like a GPS drone, except that using the motion controller allows you to get some very steep tilts, and you know, like you can get like angles that you would never be able to get with a normal GPS drone. You also get the options of a reframing in post-production or tracking objects in post, which is great. So that would be like the evolution of a GPS drone. But I think people have a misconception about this drone because it flies FPV with FPV goggles, but this is definitely not an FPV drone. This is really a hybrid drone between FPV and GPS, which also gives you the opportunity of capturing in 360. So I don't think you can actually compare this with the Avatar 360, because the Avatar 360 is more like an FPV drone that happens to capture 360 footage, and this is more like a 360 camera that happens to fly, and that you get to fly with the motion controller to get some FPV-like shots. So I think this is kind of the difference between GPS drone, the Avatar 360, and the Antigravity A1. This being said, the immersion in this drone is like no other. One thing that Antigravity did really well with this drone is the immersive feeling that you get while flying this. The field of view in the goggle is absolutely massive, and the way they build that UI, you really feel like you're out there flying and that you can just like look around, and you know, it feels like almost like flying this futuristic spaceship. I really love that about what they did with the IU of the goggles. So that's definitely a plus. It's definitely new compared to what we've seen from DJI. And I think that people that are discovering flying 360 cameras and that are not like, you know, full-blown like drone pilots will definitely get a great time starting with the Antigravity A1. Now, what would I use that drone for, really? I'm very curious to see how it's going to perform in a real estate environment, and that will be for my next video. This being said, I would use that to shoot monuments or views, or you know, like maybe track a car that's not going too fast or anything like that. If I'm traveling and I want to pack a 360 camera that can fly, I'm probably gonna go for this because of the size of it once it's folded and packed in its satchel. I would definitely not use that to chase things that are going a little faster, or like to take very tight gaps. Anything that's really meant to be shot like FPV, I would use probably a different drone, which might not even be the Avatar 360, to be honest. But I think that if speed is not something that's important, that thing is probably able to capture amazing 360 footage. I cannot wait to test this thing in a real estate environment and see how it performs compared to the Avatar 360. So I think that's it for my initial review. This is definitely a fun little quad and a big step forwards towards the future. Thank you so much, Antigravity, for sending me this drone. I will definitely keep flying this and try to get as much cool content with this little quad. If you want to see more about this drone, please don't hesitate to follow me. I will make another video about its performance within a luxury real estate environment so we can compare it with the Avatar 360. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, drop a comment letting me know what you think about the Antigravity A1, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.